12th with 8 points. Barrow stay 13th, but now have 7 points. Rochdale stay on 14th on 2 points, and let's face it, they're going to League One.
They are, but yeah, it's...
Well, unless they get more people in and fanny around. We'll talk about that another time. I don't think we've got time to get into that. There's not enough details. I'm sick of the chairman of the championship. They're just mouthpieces of nonsense.
Yeah.
They criticise and then just blather and blather. Whatever.
Yeah, let's not talk. But into League One, it was round 12. Hunslet 20, Doncaster 22, London 51, West Wales 6.
And Dr. Hideous said, I'm sure that last-minute drop goal will make all the difference to the standings at the end of the season. Well, it does mean, this result, that they're in positive point systems.
I was going to say, they were desperate for that. So, yeah, every point matters. Newcastle 26, Whitehaven 20.
No, they're on 0 points difference.
Are they on 0? That's why he kicked it.
Yeah.
So there you go, David. There was a reason.
Yeah.
Oldham 28, Keighley 4. So Keighley's performances continue. And Workington 54, the Bears 16.
Yeah, so Whitehaven stay top on 17 points. Scholar sits second on 15, with Oldham and Hunslet both chasing on 14 points. Newcastle in fifth have 13, with Workington and Doncaster both on 12 in a very tight race, just over the halfway point in League One now. North Wales, Coventry, West Wales and Keighley round off the table.
Yeah, so it was the third game of the Academy Origin. And this one, just like the other games, was very close. Finished Yorkshire 24, Lancashire 30.
Yeah, Carson got in touch. He said Yorkshire was very dominant in the first half, but Lancashire was way too good in the second half. Exciting time for England RL to come, as most of these guys are just 17. Oh, since when are London and Newcastle in Lancashire? Yeah, they do have to be a bit creative to make sure all the academies are covered in these games, so that we can breed the best talent for the England Academy and, set the best pathway for these young kids. But I'm very proud of the Lancashire boys that featured young 17-year-old Jamie Pye, who was the younger, maybe he's still 16, I think he's 17, the youngest player selected, I think, in the Origin squads for Lancashire. He's the son of one of our listeners, David Pye, who was an Academy Rugby League legend in his own right 30 or so years ago, but his kid's doing great work, and one of the particular highlight moments was his carry after one of the Lancashire tries where the play had to be stopped. It was Phil being on Greenwood-esque. Yeah, great powerful stuff there from Jamie, and well done to the Lancashire side, who I think were really good in the second half. The scoreline makes it look closer than I think the second half actually felt like. But Lancashire win the series 2-1 in that one.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see this one, but obviously I saw the second game at Blackpool, and yeah, I was really impressed with the quality of it. I thought it was really good. In terms of the women's Origin, Yorkshire got their revenge here, and it finished Yorkshire 27, Lancashire 20. So Yorkshire win the series 2-0.
Yeah, to be honest, really, really well deserved. There were periods in the game where Lancashire played some really good rugby league, but over the whole piece, Yorkshire were just a bit more consistent. And although the scoreline was padded out by a very late try from Lancashire, kind of throwing the ball a bit loosely near their own line with seconds left, Georgia Roach kicked a drop goal that was crucial. That stemmed the tie, because
beautiful kick as well.
Yeah, Lancashire were the better side for large parts of that second half, but Yorkshire, fair, deserving winners over the piece. But again, close games, which is good to see. It's only going to develop the talent level of these players for sterner England tests to come.
Absolutely, that's what it's all about. And moving on now to the NRL round 14. So this was Raiders 22, Sharks 20. Sutton, Bateman and Whitehead all played in the game. Titans 20, Warriors 24, Cowboys 26, West Tigers 27, Storm 34, the Knights 4, Rabbitohs 18, the Panthers 19. Their winning run continues. Eels
all
38.
All were suspended, weren't they?
I don't know. I think most of them were. Even if they weren't, they should have been. Eels 38, Broncos 10, Seagulls 34, Dragons 14, and Roosters 38, Bulldogs 12. And Hall going back in with 229 metres. It's quite an effort.
Yeah. Well done to him. He's starting to make an impression, isn't he?
Yep.
In the standings, the Storm are top on 24. Rabbitohs and Roosters both have 20, and Raiders make up the top 4 on 18. Because, of course, when Bateman plays, they win.
They do.
Knights, Sea Eagles and Sharks all have 16 points. Eels in 8th have 14, as do 9th place West Tigers. Warriors lead a chasing group on 12 points, and then the Titans have 8, and the Bulldogs are bottom on 6. So a lot of work for Callum Watkins to do to close the gap on the top 8 there for the Titans. That's other results covered swiftly. We're now going to make our predictions for next weekend's games across the world of rugby league. Predictions time then, and we'll start our predictions with the Super League, where it is round 19, and it kicks off with what has become one of the most hotly anticipated games of the season, unbelievably. When the fixture list was announced, I don't think anyone would have been looking at this one in quite so much detail for round 19, but it is on Sky at 7:45 on Thursday night. London Broncos versus Hull Kingston Rovers. I'll let you go first on this one.
Okay. I see both very, very confident, but I'm just going to go with the home side. I think the momentum is more with them. I'm going to go London, but not by much. London by 2.
I'm going the other way.
Okay.
I'm going Hull KR. I'm going Hull KR by 7, I think. I just feel like they've got a few more creative options, and they've bolstered the forward pack this week with the loan signings that they've made.
They have.
And I sort of think this team are going to go down there very, very motivated now with the position that they're in. And I think Tony Smith's going to get a good reaction from them. And I'm not saying that London won't react well. I've just seen London concede too many easy tries too many times this year that I wonder in the pressure cooker of this game whether they can go try for try, and I'm not sure. Hull KR tend to be a high scoring, high conceding side as well, so I'm hoping for lots of tries.
I think we'll definitely see that
defensive battle. I'm hoping for an open game, but I'm going to go Hull KR by 7. I just think they've got a touch more quality.
Okie dokie.
And the requirement for both sides is as massive, so there's no extra motivation either way there.
No, exactly. It's a huge game.
Friday
right.
7:45 then. A run of games at Friday 7:45 this week. Huddersfield v Wigan is the first one alphabetically. I'm going to go Wigan by 14. I hope Huddersfield don't have a reaction to the pour out in last week. And I hope Wigan, now that the Golden Edge has had a couple of games back together, find a little bit more fluency and score a couple more tries than we've been experiencing recently.
Yeah, I think it's entirely possible that you're going to reverse your way into 5th this year. So I'm going to go with Wigan. I can't see Huddersfield bouncing back sufficiently. So yeah, Wigan by 10. Also
Friday 7:45 p.m. kickoff. This one is one of the ones that I stuttered over. I think because it's Salford versus Castleford. Salford have been very unpredictable this season, and Castleford have been the picture of inconsistency with 9 wins and 9 losses from 18 games played. But there was a voice in the back of my head saying, but Jesse Seni-Lefeo said after the game the roasting has created a totally different atmosphere, and they're all there's a change in a shift in attitude, and I just still go for Salford by 10 because I just think Castleford are not putting together an 80-minute performance. They're not putting really together a 40-minute performance. Salford can score some tries from range, just like what Hull FC did to this Cass side. Cass aren't ready to turn that corner. Salford by 10.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I think Salford at home will probably just about have enough. Not by much. Salford by 4.
The television game on Friday night is on Sky, 7:45 p.m. kickoff for St Helens versus Leeds. What do you make of this one?
Well, the first thing I make of this game is why are we seeing Leeds shite 3 weeks in a row? That seems a bit excessive. However, in terms of the game, St Helens by 1 million. Maybe literally.
Salford versus Castleford's a far better game for the top 5 conversation, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, come on. I mean, yes, this used to be a big game. Not at the moment. I would much rather have seen... I'd much rather have seen any of the other games on Friday night, to be honest. But
I don't think I want to see Wakefield on TV again at the moment, the way they're going. 4 losses in a row.
But yeah, Saints by 1 million. What about you?
I've not got Saints by 1 million because Leeds haven't been hammered that many times this year. I've got Saints by 12.
Okay.
Final game on Friday is Warrington versus Wakefield, also 7:45 p.m. kickoff. I have got Wyre winning big in this one though. I've got Wyre by 20.
Yeah, Wyre will be looking to respond. Wakefield, as you've said already, are in a very bad run of form, and maybe there's questions about their application at this point. Warrington by 16.
Yeah, they're waiting for Fafita to be back in the side and to be back at home, I think, before they pick up more points. Wakefield, in my eyes here. Right, final game of the round on Sky. It'll kick off just after 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The Catalans versus Hull FC. This is a hard game to pick because whilst Catalans have been playing really badly recently, and I just mean the last 2 weeks, well, last 3 weeks if you include the cup game.
I think you should, yeah.
The Hull won for that cup game. They certainly do. They want to show what they can do to their own fans. And also, every time I think Salford have got it right and I pick them to win, they're almost invariably going to lose, so put your money on Cas. It's the same. It feels the same with Catalans. Every time I feel like Catalans are in a hole, they get out of that hole. Every time it was like Catalans definitely can never win in England. They win 3 in a row in England. and so I just think, or not in Perpignan, sorry, rather than in England. So I'm going Catalans by 2. I can't explain it because I can't explain either of these two sides.
No.
On paper, they're pretty evenly matched. If anything, the Catalans are marginally better. I'm going to go Catalans by 2, and I can't explain it.
No, these teams are both incredibly enigmatic in their ability to perform diabolically and then sublimely as well. Toss of the coin, but I'm going to go FC just because they probably just about do enough, often enough. But Hull FC by 4.
Okay. Into the championship game of the week has to be the top 2. Toronto versus Toulouse. I know there's a gap between the two, but it's definitely the standout fixture this weekend. I really want to see some beautiful flowing attacking rugby from Toulouse, but I think Toronto are going to grind that out of them and win.
Yeah, it was the game at the Bash was very disappointing. Toulouse will want to bounce back, but I can't see them beating Toronto at home, I'm afraid.
League One game of the week is 2 teams chasing the last spot, as it were, in the playoffs there. It's Doncaster versus Newcastle. I'm going Newcastle. I think they're up and coming. I think they're starting to get things right now under Finnegan, and the signing of Nick Newman, I think, was a very good one.
Yeah, they're maybe they're finally starting to get it sorted out. But I'm just going to go contrary Mary, and I'm going to go for Doncaster.
Fair enough. Into the NRL, where there's no Brit Watch this week because it's Rep Round, and if I fold onto the right page, I can read the fixtures out for you. So there is a women's Origin game on Friday, which I'm pretty sure you can watch on Sky. There's also, like I said, the women's game that we can't remember quite who it is, but I'm fairly confident it's Fiji versus PNG. Reasonably confident it is. But anyway, we've got New Zealand versus... Oh, it's Samoa versus PNG. It's Samoa versus PNG. No,
okay.
It's not. No.
Isn't that the men's?
Actual game? That's the real game. It's Fiji versus PNG. I was right for the women's game. Anyway, in terms of the men's internationals games, New Zealand versus Tonga Saturday at 6:40 a.m. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to watch it over here. Interesting sidelines from that. Benji Marshall back in the New Zealand squad after 7 years out of the side.
Long.
Tuilola here will be flying over to play for Tonga, but they've had a couple of pull out. Michael Jennings is the latest one I think to pull out, who's obviously a big experienced World Cup winning player. That'll be a miss for Tonga. Fiji versus